everybody. Thanks so much for coming. So yeah, I've been working on this thing called Connection. And what I do is I go on Misconnections every day, and I take all of the posts that people put up there, and I kind of collect them into one document, and then sort of rearrange them, and then like erasure them down to a new post that's kind of a combination of like everyone's secret desires and longings, and then I post them back onto Misconnections and see if anyone is looking for me. So I'll read some of those. We have this this little chapbook. I think this might be the last copy we have right now, but it's just a selection of those posts, and also a project that Imji's working on. It's one of those books that opens two different directions. Okay, which side am I? Okay. So this one's called Want to Know You More. You were there when we met. Wish I could see you or talk to you again. We gave each other a look as you walked out. I'm still attached to you. It's killing me. If you find this, please send a message back. I want to know you more. I randomly came in your hair. I regret it. I never told you that. I know we're still connected in another life. I know it's you trying from the immense energy, because it's active and it's matter, actually. Okay, this one's called Should Have Stayed in My Bed. You're a habit I can't let go. The streets are silent. Somewhere a planet tilts from its otherwise inexorable orbit. My lone fluorescent glow. Maybe I should have stayed in my bed. I can still smell you between the sheets. I suppose this is like shooting arrows into a small sky. Every reflection, every corner, anything moving, any noise is conspicuous, and I listen. This one's called Yesterday in Another Town. You made me feel so bad about myself. What am I feeling now? The silence speaks volumes. Taken to the beach, summer nights, no wanting for any material thing, no expectations, in the heat of it. I'm just putting this out there, I guess. I could have sworn that I saw you yesterday in another town. I am beautiful because you lit me on fire. Blue smile, bare feet. Am I seeing things? All the trouble you've caused. This one's called Shining Gold with Desire. What's left to say? We know we have the physical attraction. We know we have the emotional connection. That's why we need to be together. So there goes that. Now I'm desperate. Maybe I'll never see you again. Is it weird that all I can think about is fucking you? I'm completely aware of how pathetic that is. I want to hold your hand walking. I want people to see us from the shadows, eyes shining gold with desire, and know how good we are together. Has anyone here ever posted a Misconnection before? Do you have?
Many. Some of them were kind of jokes, though. Mm-hmm. I think my favorite one was, the subject line was barista, and the body was just, did we have a moment?
That's like 30%.
Yeah.
The first one that I posted, like, apart from this project, was in Tucson, Arizona. Imji and myself and a few other poets were doing this performance called Doing Nothing, and we were each sort of stationed in this gallery, sort of performing our non-productive habits, like the things we do as artists to sort of regenerate our energy. MG was getting drunk. And they had a table, and they would invite people to come and drink with them, and MG would try and like pull all their like strange stories out of them. And another friend was like taking a nap in a bed, so you could take a nap with them. And I was doing this thing, I was looking into a mirror, which is just something I do a lot, I guess. But it was like a two-way mirror, so the audience could sit on the opposite side of me, but I couldn't see them, they could only see me. And we were doing this for like 3 hours, and by like hour 2 or 2.5, I was starting to get really weird. And at one point I like put my hands against the glass, and whoever was on the other side put their hands against the glass too, and we just sort of like pushed our energy back and forth and actually lifted the table and sort of just held it in the air for a moment, and then put it back down, and they left. So I wrote a connection to that person. I had nothing really to go on except like the feeling of their hands, but they never looked. It didn't work for me, but I hear it works for other people. This one's called Falling to Pieces. You looked beautiful and sad. You caught me masturbating and we locked eyes. The connection we shared was otherworldly. Tears are falling even as I type this. I cherish how special you are and how rare this is. I feel like I'm falling to pieces, falling and re-falling into your atmosphere. Everything in its right place, but it's okay if you aren't feeling the same. This one's called The Hope I Cling to. Your voice dripping in my ears. So many emotions around you and burning desires for you. How the weight of your body on mine would make me feel so safe, either reclined at a tree or on a picnic table. A glimpse of the shadows on your back, spitting on the hope I cling to. So every once in a while when I post these, someone will actually write me back, which can be kind of interesting. A lot of the times, people sort of mistake me for someone that they've actually had an encounter with, which is very, very interesting to me. But there's this one person named Ruth who sort of responded to me at least 3 or 4 times, and she did not like what I was up to at all. And she would just sort of call me out as like a troll, you know, which I guess is pretty valid. But at one point, I just sort of asked her, like, I noticed that, you know, she's on Misconnections all the time too, so I asked her what she was doing on the site, and, you know, why she was spending all of her time there too, and what she was looking for, and she never wrote back. But I really wanted.
She's looking for a poet.
She's definitely not looking for a poet. We were actually driving back from Santa Cruz when I wrote that email, and MG decided to like internet stalk her to like find out who she was. And she was pretty much exactly as I imagined her to be. But I'll keep those details private. This one's called So Irresistible. You were getting off and you smiled at me. You melted me down the stairs. Purely magnetic and so irresistible. Not sure if you were a boy, girl, or what. I kept praying that Jesus would turn you into water. I honestly couldn't get enough. Every time you looked away, I entered your blood. Bodies dancing as galaxies collide. This one's called I Feel Everything. You melt right into my skin. Such nice torment. Sorcery leaks from the blackest parts of your pupils. My shyness is kicking. I can see your fulcrums and your voltas. I feel everything. I don't want this to ever wear off. I can see red sticks of dynamite and rusted shovels in your 600 calloused hands. Embezzlement, security breaches, online scamming, gang stalking, identity trafficking, marital drama, estranged siblings, apartment hopping, hiding from the sheriff. Did you cast a spell on me? That list was actually like 2 or 3 times the length in the original post. I had to kind of like edit it down. It was just too much. This one's called You Can't Scare Me Away. Your soul converted into an energy source. You pulled a sword from the magician's mouth. You can't scare me away. What we shared inside your body was better than my children. The mind games you play only solidify my heart's position. Nothing would ever make me leave you. Nothing scary, nothing ugly. In moments, my soul departs to meet you in a sacred place. I still don't have words to describe it. I see nothing bad in you. I feel more love for you each day, exciting and tender. This one's called Spellbound. You are a dark wave up a long stairway. You probably get comments like that a lot. It makes me think of the Depression era and how we're living in a similar time now. I'm usually asleep when you walk past me in the evenings. I'm feeling, well, I think spellbound is the word for it. Easy, careful, necessary, a shimmer in the waking world on fire. This one's called Can't Fight This Feeling. You were an American soldier, and I was being tortured for the king. When you finally saw me, you were horrified. Urine flowing down my legs as beatings were administered for my intellectual failings. This is my first and last Craigslist post. My life has been such a whirlwind. 50,000 acres of nature, flooded by voices of the dead. I just can't fight this feeling any longer. I could love you in the most tender ways, with my body, tongue, and heart, even if I have to crawl across the floor, alone and desperate, unseen, untouched, unloved. This one's called A Very Human Feeling. You felt so good in my throat. You thought I was stupid. You expressed some rage at the pureness of our connection. It was so unexpected and hot for me to be inside of you like that. It was a very human feeling. I've thought a lot about that night since. I'd love to bump into you again at the dog park. I've been overstressed and working too much. Honestly, I've been through a lot. But I did get my entire fist up your ass twice, which felt so good and connected, and arrogant and vulgar collage. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to read, and then I think she's reading next. Is that true? Okay, cool, yeah. Okay, this one's called I Was Ready. Your head hit the door. Your hair was damp with sweat. Your chest began to heave. Then you melted. Were you high or just tired? It doesn't matter. I know you were only there to hurt me, and you did. You probably think I've been with others, but I haven't. You made me see how unimportant I am to everyone around me. You destroyed my nostalgic innocence. I'm such a loser. But I just can't help from dreaming about you. Because we were one together, you and me. And I instantly felt what I was hoping to feel. I was ready to die. Thanks, everybody.